Thank you. I'd like to call Human Services and Personnel Committee to order at 7:02 this evening. In the absence of Counselor Cooper, he will be here very shortly. We will first introduce the young lady who has been appointed to the Youth Commission this evening, who is here waiting to be introduced. So I'm going to call her up, and then I will adjourn so that Counselor Cooper can do his business later on. Okay? Recess, excuse me. I will not adjourn. Thank you very much, Vice President Denley. So I would like to call Miss Sarah Ribeiro. If you wouldn't mind coming to the podium, young lady, and saying hello to us. And Council Blair, does that little microphone come down a little bit? Or no?
He's got to break it.
You want to stand to the side so we can see you? We'll let you stand to the side. How's that? Can you hold that? There you go. Over this way.
Hi, Sarah.
Grandpa Tony.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, Sarah, how old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
11 years old. And you're a student at St. John's School, is that correct?
Yes.
Nice. You want to tell us a little bit about how you became involved with the Youth Commission?
Well, my friend is part of the youth commission, and he's been begging me to go, and I've wanted to go. So a couple of weeks ago, I finally went.
And you liked it?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Councilor Delicio is eager to speak with you, so I'm going to let him have the floor.
I just want to thank you for coming down, but I just want to let everyone know the impact that Sarah's had on the Youth Commission in a short amount of time. One of the first ones to volunteer to help out. She's first one to volunteer an idea or really start a conversation. So, you know, you're a welcome addition, and you've done a lot in just in a few weeks. So keep up the good work.
Councilor Blair.
Sarah, you do realize you come from a long line of politicians?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Grandpa held a lot of, what do you call those meetings you had on the sidewalk over there in Manson? You come from a great family, sweetheart, and it's good to see you getting involved at an early age. Thank you.
Councilor Cooper, welcome back.
Thank you.
I hope you don't mind.
Tonight.
I just started your meeting just so we could introduce Sarah, and I figured that, I mean, you can obviously take over afterwards, but I thought that I would do a recess, so.
Keep going as you're doing a fine job.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Sarah, are you excited?
Yes.
You are? Do you have any big plans going on for the Youth Commission?
Not
Any big
really.
ideas yet?
Not really.
No, not yet?
No.
But I bet you're going to put your word in for good stuff, right?
Yes.
Nice. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for volunteering. Yes, Council Cooper.
Thank you. So, Sarah, welcome. Sorry I was a little late. And you're kind of lucky tonight, because normally I ask all the Youth Commission appointees about, you know, the phases of photosynthesis and that kind of thing, but you're lucky you got Councilor Jackson tonight. So we won't put you through that tonight, but no, I'm only kidding. I'm sure you'll be an asset to the Youth Commission, and thank you for volunteering, and thank you for all, you know, to your family for supporting you and doing this and kind of following in their footsteps. It's great. Thank you.
Council Cooper, I think you and Sarah both came back from Florida. Yep, she just got back as well.
Oh, you in Disney World? Did I miss you? Oh. Because I saw everybody else from Attleboro that was in Disney World.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thanks for coming here tonight. Thanks, Mom, your grandmom, your grandfather, and your sister Ella. Thank you, Ella, for coming along. Council Cooper, would you like to continue with your committee meeting, or do you want to wait?
No, you can go if you're done.
I'm going to ask for recess right now for your committee. Thank you very much. Recess for Personnel and Committee. Thank you.
Traffic and Transportation is canceled for this evening.
Have a
capital improvements and city development is canceled with a reminder that we have a tour of the schools on May 7th, starting at 9 o'clock at Hale Roberts.
Budget is canceled this evening. Moving along.
About zoning is canceled this evening.
Quick night.
Oh,
I think it's going this way.
So,
Ordinances.
I think I am.
We had ordinances, elections, and legislative matters.
Oh, ordinances, I think.
Zoning, you just canceled the rules?
Yes.
Capital improvements, traffic, not licensed,
No, I have
budget,
stuff.
city property and claims, you have stuff?
all right, I would like to call the Committee on Ordinances, Elections, Legislative Matters, easy for me to say, to order at 7:08. I have one piece of business to bring forth tonight. I entertain the following I entertain a motion of following to, that doesn't make sense. I entertain a following to adopt, sorry for the misplaced. I entertain a motion to adopt the following ordinance change relating to the Capron Park Zoo, deleted its entirety and replaced with the following. I do believe I read this a couple of weeks ago when Jean was here, so I'm going to,
Second.
thank you, Counselor. So we had a public hearing on this on April 5th. We had Jean Benchmall come back 2 weeks ago to really talk a little bit about what it is that she's looking to do. Counselor Parika and I had spent some time with Jean Benchmall, the zoo director, several weeks ago, really talking a little bit about where the zoo's at, where the zoo's going, what does the zoo need to get there. We proposed several different things to Jean. At the end of the day, when Jean was here, there was a lot of the counselors, a lot of our colleagues here said overwhelmingly they would support what Jean brought down. Looking at some of the numbers myself, when I look at the non-admission numbers, which would...
Non-resident.
No, non-admission. So,
the ones-
in terms of non-ticket sales, right? The money that is generated by the concession stand, $97,578. The gift shop, $83,232. Education programs that she has, $105,427. The membership fees, roughly ballpark's going to be about $167,205. So that gives a round number of $453,442 non-admission. With the proposed changes that Jean is bringing in to the ticket prices, that would be $629,888.50. This bringing her total budget to just a hair under $1.1 million, which is what she needs in terms of the revenue, not the budget, I'm sorry, which is pretty close to what she needs, not just to be able to make the budget that she has, but to be able to continue to grow the zoo. It might actually be a little bit closer to 1.1 million because I think that the membership numbers are probably a little bit higher. So what this allows us to do is really keep this gem that we've all talked about, the zoo being such a focal point of the city, really in the center of it all. It allows for her to keep the zoo fresh, to keep it modern, to continue to grow the zoo, and it gives still gives the residents a discount without really breaking the bank for a day out. Prices last changed, as we can see, March, let's see, I think it was back in June of 2010. So we're overdue for price change. So what I'm going to recommend is that we go with the proposed changes that Jean sent to us back in March when this first came down. And a lot of that's based on some of the feedback that we received both at the public hearing from counselors as well as when Jean was here. I understand, Councilor Denley, your point about, put more on the out-of-towners, and I was with you. And that was part of the thing that I looked at. I mean, I don't know, I had a spreadsheet which I came up with that talked about 17 different scenarios. But at the end of the day, I think that what we'll need to do is really take a step back and look at, out of all the ticket prices, 75% of the business comes from outside the city. So if we were to really kind of broad brush and say, you know what, we're going to raise it even more, I think that would do a disservice at the end of the day. So I don't know if you have anything you want to add.
Yes, thank you, Chairman.
course.
So, I will stand by my original statements. I will not support any increase on resident costs.
Okay.
And my reasoning is, I actually appreciate Jean, the department head from the zoo, coming on down for us. So the current proposal is a $2 increase for both non-residents and residents. But based on what you just said, non-residents being 75% of the zoo admittance fees, if you wanted to keep the resident rate the same, it would just take an extra 75 cents. So instead of $2 increase on residents, $2 increase on non-residents, you would do no increase on residents and just a $2.75 increase on non-residents. When I asked the question about why they felt that 75 cents would be so detrimental and, the difference between a $2 increase and a $2.75 increase, I didn't feel like I got answers that really spoke to me or really were convincing that it would be a huge difference and somehow deter visitors.
Sure.
So, I'm elected by the residents of Attleboro. I love our surrounding communities, but that's not who I represent.
Yep.
So because I represent the residents, I will not vote to increase the resident fees. But I respectfully accept any disagreements.
Okay. No, I appreciate the, and I think, there's some merit in what you say as well. So I think at this point,
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I'll take your words into consideration. Thank you. Counselor.
I just have a question about what the fees being increased. If we increase the fees this year, across the board, as you're discussing, you had made a couple of times, I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that, it would be possible that they might have to be increased again next year.
That was not with these numbers. Jean feels confidently that these numbers here will achieve the financial numbers that she needs to hit budget.
For how many years, though? I mean, are we going to increase consistently every year? Or
Not every year.
It's been 6 years. 2010 was the last.
But still, it's been 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. So that's what
in services.
I agree with you. I'm saying, will it be another 6 years?
No,
if
but
we
again, to your
increase?
point, that was when we were talking about going to a single rate across the board. Just one rate across the board, that she said, if we go to one rate, it's gonna go, at that point, then we'd have to be back and adjust it next year. So what I'm going to suggest is that we do take a look at it next year anyway, and see if, these numbers came through. The numbers, her attendance has gone up by 4% every year, roughly, So when that goes up, and it gets to the point where we need to trust the department head who runs her business on a day-to-day,
I don't disagree with that. I'm saying it's so.
Wasn't trying to insinuate that you were by any stretch.
Yeah.
But what my bigger point is, at this point, is Jean knows her business,
So we're trying to make the park self-sustaining. Is that the plan?
which right now it's about 90%.
That the city, all right,
Yeah.
so that the city's no longer actually giving any money to the park.
Ultimately,
basically.
that would be ideal.
And hopefully, or is the plan, I think I would like to know, and I know it's hard to exact somebody, but, are the fees going to stay the same for 3 years or 5 years? Or are we going to raise them every year? Because that would be, that would not be something I'd be
I think that'd be a moving target, realistically. I don't think there's any way that, if I sat here and answered that, I'd be going on playing the lottery. You know what I mean? We don't know what the next 3-5 years are gonna bring. I think right now, this gives her a cushion because her budget is $950,000. So this gives her extra room to play with, so we don't have to come back and raise the fees next year or the year after. I mean, and we don't know what the, what the cost of services are gonna be next year, let alone 2-3 years from now. Councilor Cooper.
I think I agree with what you said, but I think I might phrase it a little differently in that what the difference gives her is not a cushion to spend additional money at the zoo to maintain and run it. That cushion gives her money next year to absorb any difference that she didn't realize this year, right? In my mind, that's how I'm rationalizing that difference.
Well, I think probably a combination of both, to be quite honest.
Well, no, because if she if she has intention to do other things there at the zoo that she didn't budget for, then
Yeah.
that she intends to use that money for, then she should have been transparent about that, right?
Well, she was at the public hearing when she came down. She talked about, there are times that she wants to bring in different exhibits. There are times that she wants to be able to go and do other things. As we all know, things happen throughout the course of the year you don't necessarily budget for. So when I said cushion, maybe cushion might not have been the best word, but I think we are saying the same thing, because I think there are certain times that expenses come up that aren't budgeted for. There are needs that come up that aren't budgeted for. But I do agree with what you are saying on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Preca.
Thank you, Chairman. You and I have had, because we're not on a committee together, we've been able to have some really great discussion
Yep.
about this. We've come up with a couple of different, proposed different options to Jean. It's not up to us to tell a department head how to run our department.
Agreed.
I'm uncomfortable, in all truthfulness, I'm uncomfortable with raising. I don't have a problem raising the rates. I don't have a problem with that. It's time. This zoo needs it. It's both rates at the new set are still less expensive than it is to go to a movie, and it provides for a nicer, in my opinion, a nicer time for families. But I think that I'm a little concerned about the hike on the out-of-town residents, because the percentage of in-town residents that go to the zoo, that hasn't changed very much as we've moved forward. Like, it's a third of ticket sales, has been stable for Attleboro residents across the board. We have seniors who can go and get free passes. We can get passes from the zoo, with the library. There's all different ways to supplement that.
Right.
So I have some concern about raising it to $950. Is it $950 for out-of-city residents?
It would be $9.
$9. So I'm a little bit concerned that might dissuade people, say, oh, well, they bumped up to $9, so maybe I would rather go to a different zoo than this zoo or something. So I'm a little hesitant on that. I will support it because, again, the rates need to change, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have to review this. If we see a downtick, because it's not all of a sudden the city of Attleboro is going to, half the population of ticket sales are going to be from the city of Attleboro because we're cutting them a break. That's just not going to, that's not realistic. So I'm a little concerned about that, and
Yep, and I think it's a valid point, and I think when we're forecasting any sort of a budget, I think this is part of the challenge we have. And, the other thing is, do we know that concessions are going to stay flat? Are they going to go up? Are they going to go down? Same thing with the gift shop, which, again, I think what she does with that gift shop is absolutely amazing. There's always a line, whether it's the dollar popcorn or the T-shirts or the glasses, or it's outstanding. And membership, I think a lot of people are going to still continue to go to the memberships. Council Hall.
I totally agree with Councilor Perka. That was one of the concerns I have. It's a nice balancing act. You have to be careful that you don't outprice the folks and dissuade the people that are really contributing to this amount, which is the out-of-town people. And we want more out-of-towners to come here. We want to entice that to happen. So it's a balancing act. And I also agree with Councilor Reynolds that when she does set this, it needs to be set to an extent where it's covering her future plans as well as her current operational plans, and that we don't come back unless the costs rise so drastically that we have to. So this is a good time for her to really go for the price that she thinks is the right thing to go, even though it may seem a little bit difficult for people to absorb. But I think you're right. It's better to do it now and let it slide for a few times and get it right and make sure it's the right amount.
And to that point too, Council Hall, I think when we talk about, people feeling it in the pocketbook, Councilor Parika brought up some good points in terms of, elders can get free passes, you can get passes at the library. But I think that Jean's really fair and takes that into consideration, and I think she's very nimble when it comes to those one-off situations, which is great to see. My concern, just understanding budgets, is it's very hard to forecast what the costs are going to be, and that's my point. And I mean, I appreciate the point from both of my colleagues. I just think that it's such a moving target. It's very hard to be able to go through and appropriately forecast that. Okay.
So I just want to make one more comment, because
Sure.
I think Jean does a great job, too. Everybody knows the zoo is great. My grandkids go there, my sons go there, they love the place. But I will say that I'll support it this time around, but I won't next year. If it comes back next year, I won't give another increase. I think it needs to be increased now. You hang on to it for 2 or 3 years. You find out where the fallacies have come. Are we charging too much to the out-of-towners? Are enough people from town going in so that we really look at it? Because I will not increase this every year. It's been 6 years, so I'll say okay, but I won't do it again next year.
So, Council, let me ask you, are you just saying flat out, there's no changes next year? What if she comes back and says that?
I would not allow for another increase for the residents or for the people next year I would not. I would say no.
Okay. And what if, conversely, there's an opportunity where we can level it out again? Which I don't know if that's the case or not.
Go backwards?
Yeah. I just don't want to see anyone paint themselves into a corner.
Anybody would love to go backwards.
I'm just saying,
Going backwards would never get a no from anybody, I don't think, but I would not do it
No, I
next
understand
year.
that. And
I'd do it
again.
This year and then maybe 3 years and say, okay.
I think what Jean's done, she's been very fiscally responsible with that zoo. I think she puts herself in a situation, to be quite honest. If anyone's looked at her revolving account, she does have some, she's done some nice fiscal planning there, which I think will, should help to alleviate some of the fears of both Council Reynolds and Council Hall, which again, I think are realistic. But again, I just want to drive the point home that it's hard to hit that moving target with what the cost of services are going to be.
And my only other comment would be, I hope that, with these increases, with the out of town rates going up, that the ladies at the register are really pushing the membership, the household memberships, because that's a guarantee. You can go there as many times as you want. You can skim right through the line. It makes it a lot easier. So having these, so I don't have a problem with increasing, adding a regular household membership, having a household plus membership.
Right.
And my only concern is there was a little bit of discussion about keeping the senior memberships the same. Is there any more discussion on that, or?
We did discuss that again, and that was something that was important to me as well. But then when Jean brought up the fact that they give out a lot of the, because they have almost 12,236 seniors that pass through those doors every year on average. And she said that, a lot of the seniors will get those passes from the Council on Aging. So, especially now, I think that this meeting has brought a little more transparency to the fact that that is available to them, which I don't know how many seniors knew that option was available to them. So if we could, not looking at anyone particular in the audience, but if we could make sure that passes, that point is, if that point's well out there, I think that will help to alleviate some of that as well. All right. I do want to thank everyone for their lively discussion on this. I think it's been good discussion, good banter. We've had Jean down here, the public hearing, and then the committee meeting, opening the gates for us for the back behind-the-scenes tour, which was fascinating. But any other comments on this?
I have one more.
Oh my
I know,
gosh.
just one more. Just that just so that the council knows, it doesn't have anything to do with the rate increases or anything like that, but when we're invited as a council to go to the zoo, it takes the staff a long time to prep for us, and they're really excited about it, and they really want us to be there and show us every single bit of that zoo. So the next time we get a very generous invitation, I hope to see everybody there, because it's really important to them and to their work to show us what they're doing. Yeah. And that was they really made that clear to us. We were a surprise visit. And they were equally as enthusiastic.
Yeah.
But that was one of the comments that they made, is that they would like to see us more often.
And they also enjoy it. They enjoy it when we bring our families and everything else.
They want to brag about what they do down there.
And of course it's truly amazing to see the zoo and what goes into making it operate from behind the scenes. And again, we can't stress enough that 90% of what Jean does is self-sustaining through these revenues that she's generating. So, all right, seeing no other discussions, all those in favor? Aye. Adjourn. Opposed?
No.
Okay. I would move for adjournment at 7:26.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are canceled at 7:26. Thank you very much.
I next, everyone?
I think you
Yes.
are.
You are licensed? Is personnel done for tonight? Yep. Should be, yeah.
All right, I call the Committee on Licenses to order at 7:27. We have 4 really easy pieces of business tonight. They're all from the docket of May 3rd, 2016. First, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the application for a 2016 Hackney Carriage Public Stand license from Pools Cab at 70 Park Street, Attleboro, Mass. for 9 cabs.
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Parika. This is routine. We give it to them every year. It's right across from City Hall. Let's see if I can orient myself. Right behind me? Yes, okay. Directions are hard for me. But they're great. They are the only cab service in the city. We wouldn't want to shut them down, so this should be a pretty easy approval. Any questions or comments? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, along the same lines, I entertain a motion to approve the following applications for 2016 renewal Hackney Carriage driver's license from Peter A. Sorrell, 255 Elm Street, Apartment 2, North Attleboro, Mass. Jeffrey C. Fasulo, 65 North Main Street, P.O. Box 12, Attleboro, Mass. Dennis R. O'Donnell, 126 Wilmarth Street, Attleboro, Mass.
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Parika. These are renewal licenses. I expect that we will see more in the upcoming weeks. Hackney Carriage drivers' licenses have a little bit more effort put into them, so they have to have background checks and all that stuff done. But they all get approved before they get sent to committee. So these should all be good. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I entertain a motion to approve the application for renewal 2016 Ring a Bell license to sell ice cream on the streets of Attleboro from Ronald A. Pelagi, doing business as Pelagi Brothers Ice Cream, 28 Delta Drive, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, 02860.
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Parika.
You're welcome.
I think this is the third of our 3 ice cream vendors. There might be a fourth coming. They all have to get hawkers and peddlers licenses, which is the next motion, and then they all have to get Ring a Bell licenses in order to operate in the city. Once again, I actually think they get fingerprinted, and there's a long series of safeguards put into place that all occur before they get here. So Pelagi should be good. I think lots of us know Pelagi's. It should be a really easy vote. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And then lastly, related to that, I entertain a motion to approve the application for a 2016 Hawkers and Peddlers license from Ronald A. Pelagi, doing business as Pelagi Brothers Ice Cream, 28 Delta Drive, Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Parika. These 2 licenses go hand in hand. Hawkers and Peddlers allows them to sell merchandise on the streets. Ring a Bell allows them to make noise to attract people to their cars. Typically, they do both. Any questions or comments?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I would like to move to adjourn the Committee on Licenses at 7:30.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sarah, you're up.
I'm going to do it from here. Reporting for the Committee on City Properties and Claims.
You're calling committee to order.
I'm calling the Committee on City Properties and Claims to order at
7:30?
7:30 p.m. Thank you. I have 2 motions tonight. So from the docket of May 3rd, 2016, in accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinance of the City of Attleboro, I entertain a motion to accept these generous donations to the City of Attleboro. 2 cases of paper per school from an anonymous donor to Hyman Fine, Studley, and Thatcher. 1 HP Chromebook, 11 G4 Celeron in licensure for same, with an estimated value of $231.81 to Beth Batar's grade 3 class at Willett Elementary from Tajanda Parmar. $2,000 worth of infield mix to fix up the infields of both baseball diamonds at Thatcher Elementary School from the Attleboro Youth Association.
Second.
Now, I think it's pretty clear what's going on here, and so I request a second. Thank you, Richard. Anyone have any comments or concerns? And I will just say that Councilor Parika always says, thank you very much to everybody that donates. So I'll say it before she has to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. My second motion, I entertain, I'm sorry, all those against this, see every time we do this.
I'm sorry. All those in favor? Aye.
Against? Okay.
Motion
that
passes.
I see Heather giving this, if she wants to talk, I can see the finger. I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to transfer $2,130 from account 112410000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 112410000-524011 Citywide Maintenance of Buildings to repair the steps at the front entrance of the first mayor's house.
Second.
Thank you. Again, that's pretty self-explanatory, and I think we all know it took us forever to paint the place. So I'm thrilled that we're actually repairing it to where it should be, as you can see it when you first come into the city. So all those in favor, oh, I'm sorry, any questions, comments?
But yeah, I just wanted to support this. I know I sit in Mr. Kirby's old seat, and he was the largest advocate
was.
for repairing the mayor's first house. So we've done a lot. We made huge improvements, but I'm sure he would be thrilled to see this go by, and I support it wholeheartely.
Thank you,
Yep.
thank you, Councilor Denley. Anyone else? All those all those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Okay, the motion passes. And that is it from the Committee on City Property and Claims. And I move to adjourn at 7:33.
Second.
By the time I got back here, I forgot what time it was. I looked and then forgot. Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
All in favor? Hey,
Aye.
just let me get there, I'm writing.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion
It's
passes.
had a long week.
We're done.
And it's only Tuesday. It's a long week already.
I'd like to call the Committee on Public Works to order at 7:34.
Member Ms. Jackson.
Thank you ever so kindly, President Cook. The first two motions that I'm going to read this evening, I'd like to read them first, and then I'll discuss them, because they kind of go together. And it's kind of good stuff. I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to transfer $58,664.98 from account 3210-599000 East Martin Main Replacement Other Financing Uses to account 6000-499000 Wastewater Enterprise Fund Other Financing Sources to close Fund 3210 East Martin Main Replacement.
Second.
Thank you. Secondly, I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request.
Are you going to, you need a vote on that one? I know you want to discuss both of them, but you need to probably one motion at a time out there.
Okay.
You can discuss both now.
Yeah, if you want to discuss the other now, but
Okay.
in separate motions, that's all.
Oh, great. Thank you very much for clarifying that for me. So along with the second motion that I'm about to read, both these accounts we actually funded them to get these mains replaced and repaired. But luckily, I happily to say that the state actually jumped in and paid for it. So we're putting money back into funds, which is unusual for us to be doing here up on the council chambers. So that's what the next one is as well. So both these are done, both mains are fixed, and the state has paid for them, so now we're just putting money back into the enterprise fund. Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye. Oh, sorry.
That's quite all right. Opposed? Motion passes. Secondly, I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to transfer $40,700 from 3211-5-59900 Tiffany Street, Force Main, other financing uses to account 6000-499000 Wastewater Enterprise Fund, other financing sources to close Fund 3211 Tiffany Street, 8-foot Force Main.
Second.
Thank you. Again, that goes along with what I just said previously. Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion passes. My next motion, I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to transfer $30,000 from account 60000-578300 Wastewater Enterprise Fund, Reserved Fund for Transfer, to account 60000-558090 Wastewater Enterprise Fund, Supplies Other, for the Wastewater Department to purchase several items. Second. Thank you. In speaking with Superintendent Paul Kennedy, He needs to purchase a utility sample cart vehicle, which is in similarity to a golf cart that they drive around from throughout the plant, and the plant, of course, is very large. And they actually have a little sampler cart in the back of the cart that holds all the samples. So when you go from department to department with the wastewater samples, they just travel from place to place, and they use that to do their little science and figure out to make sure that everything's all in accordance with the way it's supposed to be. They're also going to purchase a automatic sampler for the laboratory, 1 desk, and 5 file cabinets, 4 pump chamber Cambridge for 2 filter press feed pumps, and then miscellaneous spare parts to rebuild chemical metering pumps. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. My last motion is to entertain a motion to strike from the docket to solve drainage problems in and around 86 Dexter Street, which had come in as new business from Mr. Vice President Denley back in October of 2014.
Second.
Thank you. I had spoken with Vice President Denley, and even though this drainage problem is not solved permanently, the Public Works Department is well aware of it and maintaining and making sure that the problem is always on their radar to make sure that it doesn't get all backed up. And Councilor Denley, you had spoken with the original constituents that had spoken with you about this problem, and they're pretty good with that as well, correct?
Yeah, they're happy to have your support and Director Hill's support. And they said they know it's not solved, but they know we're working on it. And now that DPW is aware of it, they feel comfortable with us striking it from the docket. They just asked that Councilor Jackson and myself stay appraised of the situation, which I assured them we would. So this is good to be struck.
Great, thank you very much. Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. I'd like to call the Committee on Public Works adjourned at 7:39. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. And I just wanted to mention one thing while I'm sitting here. We did have a fireworks committee meeting this week, and just to remind everyone that the fireworks are going to be held on July 3rd. And this Tuesday night, next Tuesday night, we'll be doing a press release.
conference, yeah.
Yes. And Councilor Delicio will be heading up that. Right?
Yes.
You will?
Yes, absolutely. So next week, before the council meeting, we will be having the press conference with Dunkin' Donuts, who's graciously accepted the challenge again. Ken Owens and I have been working on the schedule, so we really encourage everyone in the city to volunteer some time at the Dunkin' Donuts. This year is exciting because we have all 7 Dunkin' Donuts. We have the North Main Street Dunkin' Donuts participating this year, so it's fun. It's one of the things where it's not taxpayer funded and it's all 100% donations, which is pretty awesome. And I want to thank Ken Owens because I know he's been doing a ton of work behind the scenes, making sure that he's filling in for Linda Alja, who's done an amazing job. Those are big shoes to fill, and Ken, I think you're doing a fantastic job. So we'll see everyone next Tuesday night, rather, at 6:30.
Thank you.
Mr. Blair, you're up.
I'm the only one left. I have one motion. I'll do it right from this chair. Call the Committee on Public Safety and Emergency Management to order. I have one motion. I entertain a motion to transfer $136 from account 1210100-53201 Police Academy tuition to account 1210100-578020 police bills from previous years to cover the cost of a department disputed Verizon bill.
Second.
This, you can relate to it if you've dealt with Verizon or any of our utility companies. It seems that Chief Hegney believes that they had made a mistake in the way they billed it, so it couldn't be paid out of a grant. You have to pay it direct. But after due diligence and time on the phone, and whatnot, it's a bill of $136, and Verizon says no. So you pay it. We're spending any more time on $136. And it's wasted time spent. I'd rather see somebody out on the road or doing other police work than chasing down a $136 bill, which, as you know, coming from a utility company, they fall on deaf ears. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Move to adjourn at 7:45.
Second.
Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Well, it's nice seeing you here again.